right, guys, what's up? It's the Talking Normies podcast. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm Chris Johnson.
What it do?
And the people to the left of me are...
I'm Suraj Chaudhary.
No,
I am Spidey. I'm not going to give you my last name. Harper.
You should have just done a Pat impression the whole time.
Hey, it's Pat. It's Project Pat out here.
I'm Mickey.
Well, listen, since you are taking over for Pat today, you will need to do a Pat Ponders. Spencer, I got a beer for you. Come get it.
I'll think of one.
You, by the end of this podcast, you are going to have to come up with a Pat Ponders.
About 3 pounders.
What did you spill?
Oh.
All of it?
All of it.
Lol.
So, y'all, what have y'all been up to? Weekend catch up? What's been going on with you guys? Surge, what's been going on with you? We haven't seen you in a very long time.
Yeah, it's this setup has changed, man. This is you guys are doing big things here, drinking beer in the morning. It's St. Patty's Day, so I get it. This weekend I'm gonna go see Cocaine Bear.
Ooh.
With Ben and Hannah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Corey and I we're gonna do a little double date.
Can you explain who Ben and Hannah are to the people who might not know anymore?
Ben and Hannah are legends of the channel.
Yeah.
If you remember old school Attack on Titan reactions, Breaking Bad reactions.
Game of Thrones?
People miss Hannah and
Right.
Ben.
Hey,
Oh, Walking
if
Dead.
If you go to the wedding, you want to be my second shooter briefly?
Oh, are you shooting it?
They asked me to do it.
He keeps
Yeah,
asking me to do it. I keep saying no.
I don't know. They haven't
Just
asked me
briefly.
yet.
Just briefly.
Maybe. I'd rather attend in kind, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So, I'm excited. Cocaine Bear is an hour and a half long. It's perfect.
quick, yeah.
It's just perfect. And then I was gonna go to that sauna social event probably.
Ooh, I've been working on a joke for Cocaine Bear, and all right, let me try it. I it's been in my head and I haven't formulated. I'm gonna try to do it now. Cocaine Bear. If it was a black bear, it'd be Crack Bear,
Yeah.
but it's a brown bear.
It's a brown bear.
Yeah,
Brown people do cocaine.
the ones I know don't. All right. Yeah, nice. Yeah, but what have you been doing? See, that's what you're gonna do. I want to know what you've been doing.
What I've been doing?
What the last week since the last podcast? What have you been up to?
Yeah, this is gonna sound cheesy,
Previous week.
but the Rocky movies have inspired me to be more healthy. I have stopped some bad habits.
Such as? You don't want to say on the podcast. That's fine.
Recreational activities I do.
Oh, masturbating. Yeah.
Going on more hikes. Went to Fort Bend last weekend. Worked out last couple days.
Look at you.
So I've been.
you said bye to the nicotine?
Oh, I've been said bye to that. That's been almost in 9 months now.
Dang.
But saying bye to the other thing. As per recommendation from my therapist.
Saying goodbye.
nice.
I was like, all these things you want to do, maybe you should stop smoking weed. I'm like, you know what? I think you're right.
I'll give it a try.
It's like,
Give it
I
a
paid
shot.
you to tell me that. I could have told me that.
But once you hear from a certified doctor, you're like, ah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
right.
I will say,
Rocky 3, man. It's Apollo Creed when he's yelling at Rocky saying, "There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow." I'm like, that's a powerful fucking line right there.
look at this man over here getting inspired by the sport. Hell yeah. I've been, so I have a hookah, and occasionally I want to smoke it and just melt and become a gummy bear, but pretty consistently it hurts my lungs. So my body's just like, hey, no. And I'm like, but I want to. My body's like, you don't smoke tobacco at all, and then once a month you want to smoke all the tobacco in one sitting? And I'm like, yeah, man. And then my lungs are like, well, we're going to hurt for a day. So, yeah.
Hookah is fun though. I actually went to the hookah bar with Pat, Nikki, Runna, and their
Bunch of
respective
bitches.
boy toys. Not Pat's. The other two.
Well, where's Pat's boy toy?
That it was me, I guess. And so I refused. They kept trying to pass it to me. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm just here to chill.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's lame, but it's hard. It's really hard, actually, guys. When you've been doing something and you're trying to stop,
Yeah.
it's all around you, and you
Tell me
can't-
about it.
Yeah,
I even found the motivation to want. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I did it for 2 weeks, and then it's tough, man. It's the toughest thing. I'm trying to do the same thing. It's the toughest thing I've ever done.
Slide back into habits. What you been up to, Spidey?
Chilling with my habits. No. What did we do? Me and Bria have been trying to save money, so we really just been cooking at home.
Nice.
Nice, yeah.
Oh my God, she made something. I cannot remember what the fuck it's called right now, but it's like
Couscous.
no, it's so many letters in this name of this thing that I have no idea what it is, but it's like some sort of Asian sauce that she makes and oil mixed with peanut oil or sesame oil.
Guanjang?
No, still longer than that.
Is it?
I don't even know if that's a thing.
Pete Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg.
I have no idea what that is.
Buttigieg. It's like a Korean meal with.
It's all vegetables. It's like
cabbage,
cucumber, carrots.
Oh, that's
And it might even just be that.
a salad.
It's the word you're looking for. Salad.
Yeah, this is like Asian delicacy.
Yeah, close to that. But yeah, other than that, that's really it, man. I've just been prepping food. Like, we've been getting ready for food, and then we've been working out. We're trying to stay on solid workouts. I'm trying to get on a program where I actually start lifting because I haven't lifted in forever. So
Tell Bree we'll pay her to be the normie chef. She just makes our lunch.
don't even play because me and her have had this conversation. She's like, why don't they just pay a chef? I was like, I don't know.
You know, I mean,
If you guys
it's on
want
the
healthy
table.
food, she will do that.
We could pump out more reactions. Just feed us on the couch, pump a tube in us, and just, we'll
Imagine
ship it back.
walking out to lunch and
God.
having it right there on the stove.
Well, the stove would have to work.
That would be awesome.
That would be step one is replace the stove. That's step one.
Bro, I can get you guys a stove tomorrow.
I know a guy.
Right, I know it, dude.
Mickey, what about you?
I think I'm pretty much back to not doing a whole lot because of the cold.
Oh yeah, the thing
okay.
that happens.
I can't
All the time.
remember. Okay, I do have one story to tell, and I can't remember if it happened this previous weekend or the one before that because we skipped the podcast, didn't we?
Yeah.
So one weekend, okay, there was a big storm. Right, I'm gonna tell the trash can story.
He's missing it.
Crippling anxiety to talk to your neighbors.
bro. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, sometimes my anxiety gets the best of me, especially with like strangers, right? People I don't know, don't want to talk to. All my neighbors have moved in. I live in this like condo unit where it's like four houses and everybody's moved in. One night there was like a really bad storm, and my recycling bin falls over and flies down the street into my neighbor's driveway. And they took it inside, not like stealing. They were just like, oh, this, it was it was in front of their driveway. They have to take it. So I was trying to figure out where it went, and I finally see a house with 2 recycling bins. I'm like, okay, that's got to be the one. And then just the existential
Crisis.
I realized where the bin was at 9 a.m. I did not go talk to this person till 2 p.m. And between the hours of 9 a.m. and 2 p.m., I was just a mess.
Just sweating.
I was
like,
pacing.
I'll pay $15 for one of you to come here.
Why did you just say no, man?
I was pacing my. I don't want to bother Obed. Like
Use your roommate. Be like, hey, bud. I need someone to go talk to the trash can for me. I can't.
These are my problems. I gotta
do this.
I gotta handle my problems. But I was like, what? It was a vicious circle of like, why don't I want to do this? It'll be a great way to meet my neighbor and like make a friend in the neighborhood. But then I'm like, yeah, but I have to do that small talk of like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. That's the whole thing with anxiety. I don't know why. So I was just, from the hours of 9 to 2, I was just psyching myself up to go have this fucking interaction. I got the trash can back, and
You have a new friend?
Yeah, did you talk to them?
What did they say? Were they like, oh, I'm sorry?
Well, hi.
No, he was just like, oh yeah, it's just that.
Is that his voice?
That kind of vibe.
What kind of guy was he?
Just a normal.
Did he spark up like, when did you move?
Well, they were okay. So the opportunity I saw is that he had just moved in, so the garage was open. They were moving stuff inside. Their 2 dogs were chilling in the driveway.
Okay.
It was as welcoming of an opportunity as
it sounds like a very nice guy.
It was as welcoming of an opportunity as it could possibly be.
You had a lot to compare with, too.
So I only saw him, right? So when I finally psyched myself up, I was like, okay, I'm going to take Chester. We're going to go over there. He's going to meet the dogs. I'll talk to him. And like, I go into my driveway and I look over, but now the rest of his family is joined too.
So you got like kids.
So now instead of one person in the driveway, the whole family's there, and I immediately turned back inside. And I went back into my house, and I needed about 20 more minutes of psyching up before I could go do this.
Oh my
God.
God.
Wife, kids, how old is like? What? I want to know your neighbor.
I don't know, man. Just
were they little bitty babies? Were they crawling? Were they toddlers?
They look like teenagers. Like,
oh, so he's got teenagers.
Yeah, he's like a full on like.
Oh God.
But the couple themselves, they look pretty young though. Like I guess they're like.
It's Indiana.
In
People
their
are having
30s.
kids at 12.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, their dogs are super chill. They got 2 really cute dogs. Super,
What kind of breed?
Yeah, we got.
I think one was a Dachshund and one kind of looked like a bigger Turtley.
Okay.
So, and they were super cute, super sweet dogs.
Schnauzer.
Really
baby.
nice guy. Just it was all me. The problem was with me. But yeah, anxiety. It's a bitch.
I just wanted details about your neighbor.
Sometimes it just kind of gets you.
I think it's funny the idea of you like walking down the street to essentially the like model family. It's like a husband and a wife and they're like teenage
kids,
boys
two
like
dogs.
properly doing the like grass, the lawn, and then there's the 2 dogs in there and you're just like, oh god, like how can I like painting the picture of like how like that for me, yeah, that hits.
I know
it's
it's
pretty
funny
funny
though. Like the
Seems
more,
super
the
welcome.
longer you wait, the more you're like, do I even need that trash bag?
Oh, I went through all of the 7 stages. I went through.
gonna order a new one?
I went through denial. I went through denial of like, maybe he'll realize it's mine and they'll just leave it in my driveway. Acceptance. No, it's gone. I have to.
He held
go
that
do
shit
this.
hostage.
At least you didn't like, leave it
Bargaining.
in
Maybe I can just call the company, tell them the trash can was stolen. They have to just drop a new one, right? Maybe I can just get a new
I think
one.
it costs money.
And I went through all the stages, man. And you know what? I probably would have paid it. I would have been like, yeah, it's gone. I don't know what happened to it.
At least you didn't leave a note.
I would rather do that than
That'd
go
have
have small talk with a stranger.
Well, now when he has a barbecue, he'll invite you over.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I met,
You guys had a
although
lot that you
weirdly,
could
I
have talked
didn't-
about.
I didn't get their name.
Dags.
You
That's
didn't
probably
get their
you didn't get
name.
their
No,
name.
because
You didn't say my name is Mickey.
I did,
was
but he didn't reciprocate.
He was like,
supposed to
okay.
go, "And your
Wait
name
a
is?"
minute, wait a minute. He didn't hit you back with the, oh, hey,
that's
my name
weird.
is...
Yeah, he didn't hit me back.
that's
with,
us.
my name is.
He's a serial killer.
Yeah, he's
Yep. Watch that shit.
His name's Joe Goldberg.
so
Right.
our
Fucking
neighbor
sociopath.
here at the studio. Our neighbor, maybe he suffers from the same social anxiety because he wrote us a letter to say that our tree had fallen on his property.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, probably.
So you think that you say social anxiety and I say asshole who can't come talk to me about a fallen tree?
Hey, don't make fun of social anxiety. It's a very
No,
serious
you're
issue.
covered for this guy.
But this was different because
No,
he
no.
attached the bill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that he
he was
used to
like,
clean
tree
up.
fell on my property. Here's some money, or here's a bill. Why don't you guys pay for this and get it fixed? You talking money, you
yeah.
come talk
Wait,
to my
a neighbor
face.
here?
Yeah. They attached the bill. They already paid for the cleanup. They were like, "Here's what I paid. That you can make it out to blah blah blah." We're like,
Wait, do we have footage of this tree falling? Whoa,
He cut it down. His chainsaw cuts clean through the tree.
Whoa,
room.
man,
whoa,
we need
whoa.
some evidence on that,
I
player.
need,
Not
I need
liable.
some
It's an
evidence
act of
on this
God.
one.
Yeah,
I need
it
some
is.
call
In
that.
court of law, that's an
I
act
need
of
some
God.
evidence on this one. Yeah, that's a little weird.
That's
So-
already handled and out the door.
That's strange.
Over the last week for your boy, who is me, I did my regular little bust things. Took some pictures of some genitals. Not a big deal. I'm building a new quilt. It's almost done.
Boy,
I
some
got
might
some
say it's the
galleries I'm
best
going to be
quilt ever.
in. The best quilt ever. What did happen was something really sweet. So me and Marketa a while ago did our thing about like our love languages, and one of mine, it's not my highest love language, but one of them is gifts. I like a good gift. I'm a gift slut. Send me gifts.
spoiled brat.
I'll be your little gift slut. So I had decided to do the man thing and suffer in silence about my mattress. We got it from IKEA a while ago, and like I hated it. Like we got it
over 8 years ago.
like 3 years ago, I think.
Oh, well then it should still be good.
Yeah, well, no, I hated it when we got it, and I was like, I want a better mattress, but I was like, well, it's fine. And then so as I've been sleeping in it, I've kind of carved out a little divot. Marketa says it looks like I'm laying eggs in it because I've got like, there's like a little nook up under me for like, there's just like a little hollow nook that goes under me.
Wait, like the memory foam didn't.
Yeah, just it never remembered.
I didn't remember. It just completely forgot by now.
It's got straight amnesia. So, and like, I was like, all right, well, whatever. And like, my back had been hurting, and I was just like, you know what? I've complained about this mattress a bunch. I'm just not going to complain anymore. And last week, Marquette kept being like, I got a surprise coming. I got a surprise coming. I got a surprise coming. I get home, and she was like, I was going to try to take this mattress up the stairs, but like, I can't because it's a fucking mattress. So obviously,
Is it one of those box boys?
it's a nectar.
Yes.
And I absolutely, oh my
Oh
God.
my dude, best mattress.
Listen, between the new mattress and the bidet, I can't wait to poop and sleep. That's what I'm a baby.
said that's what I live
if
for
you didn't
now.
say Nectar, I was gonna say I think Nectar is one of the best and that is a box mattress.
Is it? Okay.
It comes in a box and then you-
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought
Yeah.
when you said, I just assumed you meant box spring,
Like
and my brain
box
was
top,
like,
that's what I thought.
yeah, we don't do box
yeah,
springs
yeah.
anymore. My bed's
They
got
call
the.
them box mattresses, and they're very actually, I don't think they're underrated anymore. They're
Not
pretty,
anymore,
They're
no.
pretty,
No.
they're pretty normal now. But like Nectar, I was surprised at how affordable it was. Like it was like a $300-400 mattress, and it's like the best mattress I've ever seen.
Damn, that's cheap as fuck. I'm
Bro,
still paying
I'm-
for my fucking mattress.
Bro, that's because you went Tempur-Pedic. That's because you went Balenciaga, man.
They got big.
It's amazing though, bro. I don't know if you lay down on my bed. I can't get up in the morning. That's why I'm like, oof.
And
Right.
well, you
So
went
good.
king size too, didn't you?
Yeah, they say on a Tempur-Pedic, instead of the wine glass, you could actually have sex with a completely other person on the other side of the bed.
You know, as you do.
Your mate will have no idea.
Your wife wakes up and is like, are you cheating on me? It's like, if the bed ain't moving, I ain't grooving. You hear me? Ain't fine. So,
hey, okay, we got to get a sponsorship with Nectar because we have 2 testimonials.
but and on the upside too, here's the thing. Like, this is all anecdotal. The cat sleeping longer. He usually likes to get up at 6:30 and be like meow meow meow, and now he's just like, I'll wait till 7. And I'm like, my boy, that's just an extra 30 minutes for you.
That's when you know it works.
Right?
That's what all the pets want to sleep on our mattress too. We're like,
Yeah.
the cats we're okay with. Nisa, we're like, we still don't trust if she's gonna like get up in the middle of the night and piss in the closet or something. So we keep her in the crate, but the cats also they sleep with us.
Pure anarchy. So yeah, new mattress has been great. We're throwing a going away party for a friend, so we're gonna be
Sydney.
planning that. Oh my God, you've told? How did you know?
The editor that used to work for us.
I thought she already went.
No, she's
She came
leaving.
back to go
She's still in Bedford, but we're throwing a going away party for her and Gina, so that's gonna be fun.
Gina.
Pretty sure it's pronounced Gina.
Gina. Next time I see her, I'm like, Gina, I heard your name's pronounced Gina. She's like, Chris, what the fuck? That tracks.
It'll be her drunk off. There you go.
Oh my God. So yeah, we're doing that, and I'm working on some musics with my boy Vessel. We're close to getting some shit done. I got some music shit planned with Mikey and my own little music shit. And that's been it. Just been kind of doing things.
Mikey released a new track like a couple weeks ago. It's actually really fun.
Yeah, he
I
did,
love
man.
listening to Mikey. Mikey sounds like J. Cole to me. Like,
Yeah?
has
He
J.
sounds
Cole
like a
flow.
legit
Yeah.
rapper. I feel like.
I mean, he is a legit rapper.
I mean, what
sound like
they
he
should
sound
do-
like a Chicago rapper.
You do so. I mean, he is a Chicago nigga. What you want
I
from
think
him?
he means like production
Look at
value.
this.
Like it's
Production value,
Production
yes.
value is really good.
He sounds like more people should know who he is.
She's like,
So check him out.
Right. She's like, hey, what's going on here?
Well, Marketa has let one of the dogs in. It's Azula.
okay.
And mainly the reason why I knew this would happen is because it's a push door, and you put a chair on the other side. Like, she was just going to push it open. There's no boundaries to be respected.
You have to pull this chair
Yeah.
against the push door.
We'll put it.
We've got so many pit bulls in this house. You would
Zuka.
think we're Michael Vick. That's a bad joke. Dude, so you gotta go. No, baby.
No, second
I thought
left.
you were
Second
gonna
left.
say we have so many pit bulls in this house. We're gonna yell dale,
Dale.
dale.
I get no respect from these dogs.
Oh, but she's such an old bitch. All right, guys. In the interim, while Spidey's gone, I want to let you know that the next thing we're supposed to be talking about is St. Patrick's Day. But before we talk about St. Patrick's Day, I've got a fun little thing to do. I have written some words here on this paper, and we are all going to read them as fast as possible.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for Spidey to sit back down.
Okay.
And in the interim, I don't know if you guys know this, but this podcast is brought to you by Patreon and viewers like you. Our podcast is solidly supported because we've got the time to hang out in the morning and drink a couple of beers and chat with you guys. Shout outs to the chats out there. All right, and here we go. Serge, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Whatever's on here, you're gonna read it and you're gonna read it fast.
Oh, I have to read it really fast.
You gotta read it fast-ish. Don't
Okay.
take time. Just
All right,
see
all
it,
right.
read it.
I
Ready?
got you. Yes.
Set, go.
A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer.
God damn.
A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer.
Nah. What? You use mixer or mixer?
Mixer.
All right. You go for it.
A box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mix.
He was slow. He read it.
A box of mixed biscuits and a biscuit mixer.
God damn it. I can't do it. A box of mixed
You say
biscuit.
it.
You say it.
A box of mixed biscuits in a biscuit mixer.
Bars.
Yeah.
I have to try hard to say it.
Unique New York.
Unique New York. I can do all the other tongue twisters, but this one I just found out about, and I was like, why are people on the internet? Some people can say it really well, and others can't. And when I can't say it really well, I feel like I have a brain disease.
This
Peter
actually
Pepper,
says
guys have
peppers.
a box of mixed 13 biscuits in a biscuit mixer.
Do Peter Piper. Peter Piper. Peter
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, how many packs of pickled peppers did Peter Pepper pick?
She sells seashells by the seashore.
She sells down by the seashore. She sells seashores down by the seashore.
The best one is Betty bought her.
Fuck.
Betty bought her bought some butter, but she said her butter's bitter. But a bit of better butter, that would make my batter better. So Betty bought some butter better than the bitter batter. Put it in her batter. And her batter was better, butter?
Ooh.
Something like that.
I've never heard
That
of
was just too long for.
Yeah, Betty Butter was my favorite one.
What about rubber baby buggy
What
bumpers?
about the Fud Pucker thing?
Yeah, that's
what was
the
it?
yeah. I can't.
In our improv class, we had.
He's the pig fucker, and he's gonna fuck the pig, so the pig fucker comes.
Yeah.
I heard you got, but it's like Jim's the pig pucker. It's something, but it just makes you say fuck the pigs.
Yeah. It's like 2 letters away from saying fuck, and you can't say it.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Rubber
baby buggy bumpers.
Rubber baby
bumpers.
Rubber baby biker bumpers.
Rubber. There's one, Marketa has this one. Check one. I cannot do it. I will not do it. But I do like the idea of tongue twisters in other languages. Because I think your tongue twisters in your language kind of gets you imprinted in your own. And then when you hear the ones from the other ones, you're like, oh, that's actually just dumb. Like, if you just learn English, just the words tree and three back and forth would ruin you.
Three.
But like in Czech, their word for 333 is like, I'm gonna attempt it, but I'm not gonna do it right. It's like trisnash. And I'm like, no. I hear them say it. I'm like, well, luckily you don't ever have to say the word 333 because that's ass.
Oh man, if I remember after this podcast, I have a video to show you. It's like this news reporter in.
Come around the other way if you're gonna say it, Marketa.
It's this news reporter in some country, but he's like. It's the name of a place, and it's the craziest thing you've ever... I don't know. I'll show you.
We're pausing right now for the tongue twister segment because Marketa's about to come back.
It's better if you were there.
Stuff.
I heard Ketty say a tongue twister one time that sounded like all S, V's, and Z's.
It just sounded like...
Oh, the door's locked.
I remember.
Worth it.
It sounded like she was saying ceviche. Just ceviche over and over again.
We probably just need the one chair there, really.
Avicii ceviche.
It's a Marketa!
Say a tongue twister.
333 stříbrných stříkaček přeletělo přes 333 stříbrných střech.
And what does that even mean?
Strž prst skrz krk.
Did you malfunction?
What are you saying?
Translate.
A trisket, a trasket.
333 silver houses flew over 333 silver roofs.
And then the other one is.
Wait, can you do it again?
333 stříbrných stříkaček přeletělo přes 333 stříbrných střech.
It sounds like you're speaking in reverse.
333.
It sounds like you're speaking in anime.
Hey man, learning languages is fun though.
It
In
is.
fact, we've all been cursed.
In all of our old skits, we would just have Marketa speak Czech as the punchline.
Actually, Chris, that's what I did over the weekend. I've been Duolingoing the shit out of Japanese.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm making my final transformation into full weeb.
Watashi wa Mickey?
Watashi no sono hito wa totemo omoshiroi desu.
That's pretty good.
Toroshite kudasai.
Watashi wa Chris. Word. All right. So today's St. Patrick's Day. Hope you got your green on. You guys got any memorable St. Patrick's Day things that you've done? Here's one of those things. You know how in TV and anime and everything that there's always like Christmas holidays and like they hit Valentine's Day. I feel like no show aside from It's Always Sunny does like St. Patrick's Day because it's just like a drinking holiday.
Family Guy.
Oh, Family Guy too. Yeah. Oh well, that's because isn't Seth MacFarlane Irish?
I think so.
But yeah, you guys got any like solid St. Patrick's Day memories, or is it just one of those throwaway holidays that you just kind of do shit for?
Patty's Day is always it's always the same date, right? It's not like the third Tuesday.
No, it's the 17th.
It's always 317, baby. 317.
There was one day where it fell on a Thursday and Wild Beaver was still open, and it was the
50 cent green beers.
Bro,
Oh man,
50 cent beer. I think we've talked about this on the podcast before. That is fucking
that's dangerous,
deadly. Dude.
That's dangerous.
Actually, no, I think we didn't. We talked about it like in having fun because on Thursdays it used to be 25-cent beers at Ike and Jonesy's, and then when they ran out of 25-cent beers, you went to Wild Beaver for 50-cent beers, and then after that you went to dollar beers at Howl at the Moon.
Excuse me, these natty lights.
Then you go to
They're trash beers, but like mind you, $20 gets you 100.
It's not only Pabst Blue Ribbon, but yeah, and enough of any piece of shit will get you fucking wasted.
And then you finish it off at Brothers with one of those pitcher margaritas for
God.
like $5.
Oh my God.
Well, all you did really was blackout. Let's be fair.
Yeah, you just didn't remember.
We would go out with like 10 people, and by the end of the night, we would all be blacked out in different places. And like after a month, I was like, I think collectively we all don't remember like a year, right? Like we have to stop
you
doing
take
this.
St. Patty's seriously.
No, it was my first. I never really did. It was my first day at Sun King when I started working there. It was on St. Patrick's Day, which was tight because I got to get a lot of beer and get into it. I got a friend who, to quote her, she's Mictalian, so like she's Italian and Irish, and she likes to drink a lot. So I usually hang out with her on St. Patrick's Day.
Dang, that's
She goes fucking ham. Well, it's Patty.
Irish and
And
Italian.
Patty goes ham.
Italian?
Yeah, can't keep up with her.
Oh.
Can't keep up with her on a regular
Yeah,
day. And she's
no,
like, today we're doing all the whiskey and I'm like, I can't, bud. Like,
I always think
can't
of
keep up
the
with
South Park episode that aired last year, actually, where it's like white people take St. Patty's Day like to the extreme.
Yeah.
But that's not just white people. A lot of people do. Like some people are just like, we're gonna fucking drink 3 kegs today. I'm like, dude,
I don't.
It's Tuesday.
I don't
Hey, man,
remember
if
it's
you
St.
plan it
Patty's
out.
Day till somebody pinches me or if I'm at a bar and I'm like, oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
would
have
always
nothing
forget.
green.
You just don't own green.
Well,
Do you want to tell? I think we tell. Sir, do you want to tell that story in Chicago? When
That's always what I think of. That's the only thing.
It's the funniest thing that's ever happened because, like, okay, we're in Chicago, in the streets.
Irish as fuck.
St. Patty's is going wild. Like, there's a
The
parade.
river's green already.
People are getting fucked
And y'all
up.
just don't know what's happening.
No. We were drinking.
Okay.
Obviously, Chicago, we're smoking, you know. So we try to go into a restaurant, and we had just smoked. Sure, we smell like weed, but like everyone's fucked up. Like this is the day to do it, right? We have the munchies. We're gonna spend a lot of money here. Guy didn't let us in.
It wasn't an upscale place.
It wasn't even like
it was like a chill kind of dive, and it
wasn't like
he was
just
getting
like
our seats. He was like, "All right, 9 people. Hold up, yeah, y'all gotta go. Y'all smell so bad."
We're like,
y'all must have been straight.
You know,
which honestly satisfied me because every time you guys be like, "We'll air out. We'll air out." We were walking for like a mile. We did not air out.
You don't listen to weed smokers about weed smell. It's a lie. It's a conspiracy and you all know it.
Nah, man, you just gotta do it right.
that
man.
was the most flabbergasting. So, because I think literally one of us said, "So you don't want us to come in here and spend a lot of money on food?" And
We're high as fuck. That's wild.
Like, we had a party of like 9 or 12 people, man.
Meanwhile, the streets are just ablaze with drunk people. Like,
Oh yeah, I guarantee you right now. Shout outs to Eamon. Eamon, I doubt you're watching this because you're the swag piper, so you're
Eamon.
obviously
man.
swag piping some swag pipes out there right now.
Yeah.
But he played at the there's an Irish bar here in town that I think's been open for like 100 years, over by the old studio, the Golden Ace. And like me and Marketa went to go watch him play. He was like, "Yeah, I'm playing." Couldn't get in. Mind you, this bar was like the size of Dorman Street, and it was people were spilling out outside of it. And the guy was like, "It's $5 to get in," and there was like 300 people there, and I was like, "Where?" And he's like, "You just gotta squeeze in," and I'm like,
not squeezing in there.
and it was like, and it was like 2021 too, so I was like, COVID's still a thing. There's too many of y'all in there. Like $5 to fucking catch the ick. I just got over it. Like I don't know,
That's
man.
cool though. He built up such a name for himself. Dude.
Yeah, man.
Just playing the bagpipes on St. Patty's at this bar.
That's sick.
Yeah.
and on his campus.
Yeah,
With like next to protesters and stuff.
yeah. Well, what we need is an anime, an Irish anime. Somebody
Just a drinking anime.
drink. Yeah, it's
like that's their power.
yeah, it's oh okay, no, it's a sports anime, right? But they're drinking teams, and the big event is on St. Patrick's Day every year.
It's a beer pong.
It's
So it's like-
Popeye, but with Guinness.
beer
Yeah.
pong anime.
It's like Blue Lock.
I won Haikyuu, but
What is Blue Lock? Never.
I saw a guy reading it
it's
at a
very
restaurant,
popular.
and I asked him, I was like, "Oh shit, is that Blue Lock?" And he was like, and then he talked my ear off about it, obviously.
It's very popular right now.
So I'll give you the premise before we move on to the next topic. The premise is that Japan loses the World Cup, so then they start looking for the best soccer players in all of Japan, and they do like there's like a huge bracket, so everyone's participating, and then it's just like trying to find like the best striker in Japan everywhere. So then
it's
they have to
Haikyuu
do it
with
before the
soccer.
next. Yeah, they got to do it before the next World Cup.
we gotta watch this.
sounds like animated physical 100.
Oh, dude, it's probably super tight. I didn't know that's what it was about.
I didn't know it was about either. And I don't know why they call it Blue Lock, but the dude who was
That's what I'm saying, like,
reading it, he was like, "Bro, talk to my ear." Well, I was trying to eat breakfast, and he was like,
You can-
he's like, "Look at this manga over here, man." I shouldn't have asked, but fuck it, tell me.
That's the one thing, like with like movies, you can see their title and maybe sometimes discern like, oh, it's probably about this. But like with anime, you just don't know. You
Yeah.
just the titles are just often have
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Like,
You're like,
remember My Hero
sure.
Academia? We were like, we're not going to watch a show called My Hero
Yeah.
Academia. It sounds
Yeah.
so stupid.
Assassination Classroom sounded dumb too, but I was like, this is.
I hear Assassination Classroom slaps.
Whenever
That's
you
good.
meet a weeb out in the wild and like you tell them like, oh, is that Bleach? Is that blah, 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 blah?
Game on. Oh no.
I just pictured you walking through the grass in Pokemon and.
Dude popping up with the manga.
It's either one of two responses when you confront them about it. Like you're saying that you know and you're familiar. They either open up to you extremely about that, or they're just like, yeah, it's Bleach. Like, okay.
I feel like the dudes who do that know more. Like they're just like, I can't open up
Yeah, it's
box
like,
of information
don't
on this
start
person.
Don't start this. I'm containing myself right now. Walk
Don't
away.
make me do this to you.
So one, we're about to talk about John Wick, but two, I did forget to mention something about my weekend that is
John Wick.
tremendously actually important. Marketa went to girls' night over at Spidey's house.
Oh yeah.
So I went to a doodling contest in Broad Ripple, and I was catching an Uber back.
Contest?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you tell Mickey about this?
I don't know.
Fucked up, but
I mean, I didn't tell you, Mickey, but you weren't gonna come. I love you.
Just because I wasn't gonna come.
Next time, so I remembered it like last minute, but I was getting an Uber ride from there, and my Uber driver picks me up, and he's like, we're like chatting. And he's like, yeah, I'm 70 years old. My dad's 91. He's like, his 92nd birthday's next week. I was like, damn, man, you guys been around for a minute. Like, you know, congrats, right? And he's like, I just dropped off a bunch of 21-year-olds.
His dad had him at like
20.
Okay.
nice.
So he was like, I just dropped off a bunch of 21-year-olds over at the Vogue. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And he was like, these girls, man. And I was like, oh, you know, 21. I was like, I'm 34. 21 didn't really do it for me. And this guy goes, and I kid you not, word for word, well, actually, I prefer him 17. And I went, and he goes, oh, that's just a joke. I'm just joking. That's just a joke. And I'm like, sir, you could have said 18.
You could
and
have.
you wouldn't have implied the thing that you're implying.
You had
But
the
instead,
opportunity.
You said the thing to imply the thing you're implying. Like, I'm going to be your brother in arms. And I was just like, what?
I feel like that's one of those things where he was like
Quiet.
he was speaking to you in like pedophile code.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly. Because if you would have reacted the different way, it'd have been like, right.
Right? He's like, but for real, though, like the 16, and I'm like, stop it.
And then he would have just handed you a card to like Fight Club, but it's just
Oh,
weird
not a pedophile.
I'm
sex
so
rings you don't want
awkward
to.
around situations like that. Like if an Uber driver told me that, it's like, yeah, how about them 17-year-old girls, huh? I'd be like, yeah, like I wouldn't. I wouldn't like disqualify.
I'd probably just look out the window and look at my GPS, just be like, how much time?
Like it's not gonna be like, hey, that's messed up, man.
I feel like that
It's gonna be
situation
like,
is ripe for comedy, and I'm gonna see how much information I can get out of the 70-year-old.
Oh, no, I hit him with the laugh. I said, what?
Excuse me, do tell.
I just want to hear, like, maybe my brain heard you wrong. And he's like, oh, no, that's just a joke. That's a joke. And I'm like, is it a joke? What's the joke? What's the punchline? Is the punchline that you're a pedophile? Because I do find that to be pretty fucking funny.
Did he go straight there? Because usually with Uber drivers, it starts off very like common ground, and then like slowly they reveal
We try to
who they are.
diverge. No, sir. He said 21-year-old girls dropped off. I said, oh, I'm kind of old. He said 17.
He went
Chris,
straight, okay,
Chris,
straight for the kill.
don't be offended by this.
Yeah.
What were you wearing that night?
Oh, my God.
Because he was speaking to you in pedophile code. What did he see in
I had on my Lolita shirt and a fucking fedora. No, what do you mean? I don't fucking know.
He saw something in you where he was like, let me try it.
Wearing a shirt. Why don't you do it for me? I was wearing a shirt. I don't know what I was wearing. Normal clothes that I usually wear. Something the channel has seen me on and no one said. Also, to end off on this one, I heard on NPR that so the age of consent in Indiana is 16, but it's only bad, like illegal, if you're a coach or like a minister or something else, like these other like jobs that put you around a bunch of 16-year-olds. Otherwise, you just got to get permission from the parents, which is fucked. So fucked.
It is, but it does happen.
But apparently, if you were if you're like a intramural coach, it wasn't illegal, and so people were like, "Well, that's not fair. We gotta make that part legal too." So they changed the law, but they didn't just change it to be age of consent 18.
Bro,
why? They did a bunch of extra work to not do it.
Can you imagine that? I could see that. I could see that being a skit on a show like I Think You Should Leave, where
that show's hilarious.
where they're like in the house and he's about to ask the parents. Like, can you? Oh my god.
Hey guys, I want to date your 16-year-old daughter. I know that I'm 50, but it's very legal. I just need your permission.
It's not against the law.
And the parents are like, let's flip a coin.
Imagine
they're like,
having
what's your
to
bank account
show
look like?
the cops like a permission slip.
You
No!
low-key do.
I mean, that's a whole plot point in that one Transformers movie with Mark Wahlberg.
Really?
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
The one with Mark Wahlberg, so his daughter's dating somebody who's slightly older, but there's a Romeo and Juliet law,
regrets.
and the guy has it laminated, and he keeps showing it to people whenever they're like, aren't you too old for her? And he's like, Romeo and Juliet law. We were both underage and dating, and then I just happened to be, Anyway.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, that is a thing.
Yeah. So, John Wick 4 is coming out. You guys excited?
Are we all going together?
We are going together, but I need to argue with Mickey.
IMAX.
Okay, then we're good.
True IMAX.
Okay, then never mind.
I saw a clip yesterday. There's this Asian chick that he's working with who's in this solid ass like black armor kind of deal.
Yeah.
And this is her first movie, and they said she is fucking killing this shit.
Oh,
So
no, let's go.
I saw
Let's go.
a quick fight scene, and she is dropping boys. Like,
All my like favorite YouTubers are saying like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. This is the best one.
IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. And I'm like, okay, that's good, but it's IGN. Yeah.
No, even like independent YouTubers are saying like there's no complaints. Like Jeremy John, I don't know if you know Jeremy Johns. He was
I know you love you
as
some
far
Jeremy
as the
Johns.
complaints of John Wick 4, and he was just silent for like a whole minute. It was like, all right, that's the video. Bye. No complaints.
Dude, I'm so fucking. I love hearing stories about like actors on their first movie that kill it.
Yeah.
Like the girl from Squid Game.
Yeah.
That was her first role, and I was
Knocked
like,
it out the park.
she
Born for the shit.
killed it.
Right?
And she's huge now.
So we definitely have to go watch it at IMAX. Let's get our tickets, but let's
today
be ready to just
Buy a fifth one for Obed.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Spidey, you coming too?
When? Yes.
I don't know.
I think Dameron wants to come.
Buy 6 more for
Honestly,
Dameron.
let's pack the fucking thing.
Yeah, let's buy a row. We gotta
Bunch
buy
of
these
nerds.
now. And we don't have to sit together. If
We
it's like
literally have to buy
little pockets of seats,
are we gonna interview people coming out of the
Yes,
theater?
I'm gonna bring my microphone. I'm gonna make it look legit, so people are like, "Oh, what's going on here?"
Do you remember the first video Dameron appeared in? Because it was at the IMAX.
Yeah, Captain Mark. We were talking about that driving in today.
Yeah.
Like, we're thinking about doing that again. He's like, dude, I'll come.
And we're
I'm
just
down."
gonna film you, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, the movie was good. I like it."
Oh man.
Last time I went to IMAX, there was a dude there who knew Chris.
Yeah, that's he was my
Every
section
time.
leader in band.
Where have you
Every time I
been?
go there,
What
he's
did you
like,
see?
yeah,
Where?
normies. So Chris, I said he sucks.
Ben, I hope you're watching. I love you, bro.
Anywhere where at least one person didn't know Chris. Like
That's
I've
true.
never gone anywhere where you didn't say hi to someone.
If that happens, we know we're in an alternate reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only like the
something
climbing
shifted.
gym, and that was only for a short period of time because someone at some point was just like, "Oh yeah, you know Chris Johnson?" Like, fuck yeah, I know Chris Johnson.
You know what's wild is that in 2020, no, it was 2019. We went to San Francisco, and we were flying back, and I knew somebody on the flight.
Jake, come down
And
here.
then 1 week later, we went to Miami, and I was like, that motherfucker works at Sun King. And he was just like walking down the beach. And I sent him a message. I was like, bro, are you in Miami walking down the beach right now? He was like, how did you know? And I was like, wow. So now I'd be like looking at people's faces, like thinking I know them when I don't know them. Like my brain's fucked. But
I think that's the Indiana thing because I have that too. Like,
right, you're just like, I know you. Why are you staring at me?
yeah, everywhere I go, I end up knowing somebody. We were in Chicago and ran into a friend, and I was just like, "Who the fuck does this?" It's fucking Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
Small world out there sometimes.
Well, before we get to the movie, because we're going to talk about it for a while, I just want to talk about South Park for a little bit. We got Suraj here. Suraj is a big old South Park nerd.
South Park.
This new season for me
Hot fire.
is
Hot fire.
I'm enjoying it. What was the one episode I didn't get? Oh, the Meghan Markle one. I know.
So that one, literally, I can see Matt and Trey being like, you either don't care about this shit, which is like how Stan and all his friends were like, Kyle, we don't care. Or you're annoyed as fuck and like thought it was hilarious. Like all the BBC outlets and British news were like, South Park, one of my favorite shows that I've never talked about in the last 25 years, but I'm going to talk about it now.
Because
They're
of course,
basically,
of course.
But I do like what they were saying about them. It is kind of contradictory, their behavior.
I like that they just have Canadian face.
Yeah, we want privacy. And they're making books and going on like tours. Like, we just want privacy.
I think the Kanye episode was good. That shit was fucking hilarious. The toilet episode literally pushed me into buying a bidet. And then this last one with Chat GPT was fucking fun.
That one was
I think I'm gonna
phenomenal.
buy a bidet this weekend.
I think I'm gonna
I have
actually
never really
use
sat
Chat
and watched.
GPT to respond to like some people's texts.
Chat
That's
GPT is
Yeah.
wild, bro. When I was doing the Velma essay, at the end of it, I had Chat GPT write me an episode of Velma, and it did a better job.
People want to see that. People are like, why didn't you post it? We want to see that.
Yeah, man.
It was kind of, sort of there, but yeah.
You know what? We should get Chat GPT to write a normie skit, and I bet you it would just be like
Honestly,
kind of bad.
why don't we do that? We could start a new channel, a
do
new
you think they know, like-
skit-specific channel, Chat GPT skits.
Does it know like normies? Does it know like?
You would have. I think you might need to
YouTubers?
train it on normies.
I mean, it pulls, it scrubs from the internet, so
But the word the normies is so ubiquitous everywhere that it would probably.
Yeah, I don't know if. Wait, what do you got doing?
You guys don't know?
Nothing.
It's the hand signs.
The hand sign?
What?
Mickey. We talked about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, bet. All right,
No,
yeah.
ditto.
Yeah, tight.
I really don't know what's happening. Yeah, the Chat GPT South Park episode, they actually like at the last like 2 minutes, Stan is like, how do I solve this? And he wrote everything that was going on in the episode. And I believe that they actually just animated what Chat GPT wrote for them.
Like, did they
Yeah.
have Chat GPT? They made Chat GPT made the whole episode.
No, just the end part.
like just the
the
end
end?
part. They credited it like written by Trey Parker and Chat GPT in the end
Yeah.
credits.
I mean, I think the point of that episode too is that like, yeah, it can be used as a tool, but not as like a crutch. Which is
Yeah.
really anything, but
Well-
we're in a new phase. My old boss at Sun King used to talk about this all the time. He's like, in the future, he's like, none of us are all artists. He's like, you're not gonna have a job. There's gonna be a button that says make art.
I don't know what they're
But think
doing.
about like
I've
who.
never used ChatGPT at all.
So-
Like, I have
so-
no idea
Well,
what
you
it
should
does.
definitely try using it and checking it out. But also think about like who hires the most amount of artists, and the literal answer is like corporations to make art for the corporation. Once the
So-
corporation no longer needs an artist, why the fuck would they ever pay for one? We will still buy art independently as people, but like. If there's a big business that needs a graphic designer to design something, should I pay this graphic designer $1,200, or as the work gets lower, the graphic designer is going to cost more, $2,500, or can I get something that's passable using corporate Memphis and a chatbot?
I don't think it would work because first of all, we've seen with Marvel Phase 4 that using a chat AI to come up with your scripts is probably not the best idea.
Damn.
Shots fired.
And I just think there's something vintage about like when you watch it. Like I'm just talking about films. Let's say in the future that is a viable thing that would be very cheap for them to make, and maybe they'd be able to make some good stuff. But like, wouldn't it suck enjoying something and being like, man, who wrote this or who's behind this? But it's like AI, and you're like, I don't know. It's kind of
I think that ChatGPT is attempting to put in some filters because, like, in the beginning, there was like the concern of like, oh, it just does your homework for you, it writes papers for you, does all this for you. But when I went to try that Velma essay, like, I had to finesse it a little bit because at first it was like, I think there's copyright things here. This is not ethical. Like it stopped me from doing it a few times. But you just move the words around. And I was able to finesse it. But I think they're attempting to kind of.
But I mean, it's
some
open
safeties in
source
place.
AI.
But
so
I've
someone
also,
will just make the one that won't have the barriers. in
right.
place.
And I've heard
edit it afterwards.
I've heard this argument both ways, where like from an artist perspective, they might use ChatGPT as like a launch off point for their design. Like they'll look up something and they'll be like, oh, that's cool. Let me refine that and make it my own. So like it could be a launching off point, but it's likely going to be abused. So last night on Twitch stream, I watched an Illuminati video, and it was about Crunchyroll and like how they're monopolizing anime and all that. And it was a hard to watch video, man. Like it was a tough watch. It made me feel really bad about anime. But like it'll be interesting to see like if this AI art gets like exploited in anime because like things are gonna change at some point. Like something's gonna change where artists are gonna demand more money, hopefully. But maybe the companies will be like, okay, fuck it, we'll just get some AI characters or something.
Yeah, like are we gonna pay a concept artist to write up what we think Frieza's next transformation is gonna be, or should we have Chat GPT write up like a million fucking variations and see which one's the best?
There was also a very interesting point she made in that video last night, is that as much of it as is a problem of these big companies exploiting these artists and not paying them well, that's kind of the norm for the industry, where like the psychology of new people coming into that industry, that's just what they expect. They're like, yeah, I'm just gonna work crazy hours with no pay, and that's like, it's a thing of like complacency.
I mean, to an extent, that's what we experience, at least what I experienced going into like videography and like doing weddings and shit. It's like, hey, I'll do your wedding for like $500. I don't care.
Yeah,
like, the competitiveness just makes the newcomers charge less and try to do more quality, and then the standard changes.
Yes, yeah. But it's also it's just a complacency thing. But yeah, it was a tough to watch video. But yeah, Chat GPT is pretty wild, man. Like, it does everything. Like my brother-in-law showed it to me for the first time, and he was like, "Write me code for this program," and it was like the Matrix. It just started writing code.
That's crazy.
It's
someone
wild,
said
man.
we should do a Chat GPT skit, just like a normie skit, and have Chat GPT write it.
Do you want me?
What's in here?
I think there's a marble in there.
Yeah, there's marbles in this.
There's like a little
Why the fuck is there a marble?
It's always
for the
been that
flavor.
What? Since when?
It's for the flavor.
I think it's always been there, right? There's always been a marble in there, right?
afterwards and play marbles.
To keep it fresh.
What in the name of caucasity was in this beer?
Hey, save it. We'll cut it and we'll play marbles with it.
Brilliant.
Oh God, my chair's. How did I get the broken chair?
What were we just talking about? What'd you
Chat
just say?
GPT.
No, Mickey. What was the last point you just made?
The code. It wrote a bunch of code.
Yeah, how Chat GPT wrote a code.
Well, I was talking to one of my neighbors. She's a professor at IUPUI, our local university, and she was talking about how they had like a summit recently, like all the teachers to discuss ChatGPT, because obviously this shit's gonna be abused by students. Like, if I was in high school right now, of course, like I'm not, maybe not all the time, but I'd be smart about it. Use ChatGPT and then go back and edit it. But it's not good.
People are already faking their degrees. This is gonna be even more rampant.
I mean,
Chat
I think
GPT is gonna have to find a way to calculate everything that it has ever made to make sure it doesn't plagiarize itself, basically.
Oh, I think it's still. But here's the thing: as long as it can figure that out, someone else can just be like, "Cool, then I'll just make it so that it doesn't."
I think whatever ChatGPT creates should like go onto like a copy server for teachers to like, because you know how they can just search plagiarism.
Yeah.
So like if it shows up, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's got to be able to know whenever it's plagiarizing. Like,
There's
There's
gotta
so
be
many
some
like
kind
different
of
clone
bin.
apps though. Like it's not just ChatGPT. There's like all these like mocks
because it's open AI, which is tight. I think before it's all said and done,
Dude, the world's gonna be
before we talk about
so strange in a few years.
I really think it's going to lead to one of two things.
This is
rampant. No one works anymore because the robots are doing it, or universal basic income. There, I said.
It's
gonna be the expanse.
Here's money to live. Figure something out.
Day
If
by
robots
day,
are working,
we're inching
then at
towards
least
the expanse.
make it sustainable for us. You know, if nobody has to work because of AI and robots, then we should still at least
Universal
have a
basic
decent,
income,
Yeah,
and then everybody can make the kind of like you could choose to buy people
But
art.
again,
Then
universal basic income is going to be their calculation of median, whatever your bills are, where you live. Like they're going to give you
we're going to live in pods.
just enough.
It's gonna be
They're gonna give you
vintage to have
just
like
enough.
a human created this.
Yeah, I mean, people still buy books, vinyl. Actually, vinyl the Philip and Franklin thing. Vinyl just outsold like for the most like permanent media. It just outsold CDs and shit.
Nice.
Spidey has to leave in 8 minutes, so we gotta talk about Black Swan.
yes, Black Swan.
Black Swan.
Mickey, you didn't like it.
Black
No.
Swan.
I that was a joke.
Oh, okay, I was like, what the fuck? Hey,
That was a joke.
So one, Suraj, you didn't watch the movie,
I seen it a long time ago.
but by
When it first
the
came out.
standards of our podcast,
I saw it when people were actually watching it.
you
Like,
have to wear the
whoa.
dunce hat for a little bit.
What is the dunce hat?
I'm gonna go get. It's right over there. I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
No, I thought it was great. Like midway through watching it, I was like, "Wait a minute, is the movie itself doing Black Swan?" And then
Right.
so then I googled the story of Black Swan, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing Black Swan.
They're doing a Black Swan.
They're doing Black. It was Black Swanception.
might as well.
You you got to wear it for 5 minutes and you can take it off.
Yeah,
That's
Maybe
fine.
five.
it was Black Swanception.
It was. So my
Black Swan and Black Swan and Black Swan.
I wanted to talk about one. If I was going to pitch it, I'd be like, "This is the
I'm
movie."
sorry, Swan Lake.
Swan Lake. I'm like, this is the movie Whiplash meets American Psycho, right? It's pretty much. Mm-hmm. And then you probably haven't seen
Never saw
Whiplash. It's about the kid who plays the drums really good. And they're like, your talent's so good, I got to push you hard and be mean
Oh,
to
is
you
that
so
with
that you
J.K.
do good.
Simmons?
Yeah.
I haven't
and
seen
Miles
that one yet.
Teller.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah. But
American Psycho, yeah, very much so.
fun movie, very dark, hard watch for me. I forgot how hard it was for me to watch it because of the body horror.
Dude,
Very, very
yes,
nasty.
yes. The body horror, like it wasn't. There was no build up to it.
It just happened.
It just happens, bro. The sink scene,
Yeah.
bro. I had to turn the movie off because I felt I can still feel it.
I've done it before.
I don't like that. I couldn't watch it. That was the
also-
hardest scene. I've seen the more goriest shit, and that I couldn't do it. I felt it. I could
that
feel it.
remember
and-
that. I remember.
I
that.
could feel it.
Who
That
clips their
and,
nails with scissors?
The lady who got
No, I'm talking about where she like peels.
Oh, yeah.
the lady who was hit by the car.
Yeah,
and then,
Winona
like,
Ryder.
you see that her legs are basically never gonna work again, kind
No.
of thing.
Winona Ryder was in it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's the
one of
older dancer.
Yeah, she's the one that gets replaced.
I was really hoping that Pat got to watch this with us because he was very hesitant on watching it, and I know that it's kind of scary enough, kind of psycho enough, and also kind of a sports movie. Underdog person, like, kind of gets a good role, pushes themselves too hard, breaks their body.
I was really thinking she was just fucking people up. Like, I thought she was murdering people.
That dance instructor was just an evil dude.
Toma.
That's all I remember.
Don't do Molly with strangers in public for the first time.
Not at all.
Strangers or the Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
I was like,
Sebastian Stan is one of the dudes I'm drinking with.
Yeah. With
All
his
right.
non-Marvel body. Yes.
I was also thinking that she in her head was Mila Kunis, and we were gonna figure out that the whole time it's been her bad side, and we were gonna get Fight Clubbed.
Or what if Winona Ryder was Natalie Portman, and it's like a time thing where she's like in the hospital
it's Looper.
reliving
that?
because at the end he starts calling her his little princess.
And she does when she sees Winona Ryder's bloody ghost figure in the background.
So
it's
maybe
her.
it's Winona Ryder reflecting on how she got here.
So I want to talk about the dynamics between the people because I think it's about I think us talking about these relationships in the next few minutes is going to be what really kind of gets us to the points of the movie. Anyway, talk about Nina and her mom and their relationship because
her mom is
gross.
living vicariously through her because her
Absolutely.
dreams failed, and it's to a weird obsessive nature.
won't let her grow up.
Yeah, she
watches her when she sleeps.
Yeah, she said that she stopped her career to have her child, which that's something that's very common with parents. Like parents will guilt trip you about shit like that. Mine didn't.
And then they're like, "Oh, my child will do everything that I couldn't do."
Right.
Yeah.
Push them to the extreme.
She the way she had to lock her door just to have some alone time. And also, I think the part where she thinks she's having sex with Mila Kunis is probably it's just really her masturbating hella loud.
So
And
that-
her mom is probably like,
Can
"What
you
the
remind me?
fuck?"
That didn't happen.
No,
that did not happen.
because when she talks to Mila Kunis the next day, she's like, "Why didn't you wake me up?" And she's like, "What?" She's like, "Unless your name's Tom and you had a dick, we weren't spending time last night." She's like, "Yeah, we were." And she's like, "Oh my god, did you have like a lazy wet dream about
somebody
me?"
was there because the shot of there was a very deliberate thing of like her putting the bar on the door,
Yeah.
and then the next morning the bar's been moved.
Yeah, but she could have woke up. And
her
moved it.
mom came in. Her mom kicks
How?
in and breaks that bar.
No. That's the very last. That's the last
That's
time her
the
mom
very-
comes in and she puts like socks over her hands.
Oh, gotcha.
But like, so when so you don't know if Mila Kunis was there and she left and moved the bar, or she could have woke up in the middle of the night, shitty drunk, shitty high as fuck on Molly,
It was
moved the
hard
bar
to
and then peed.
know whether Mila Kunis was just a chill person or if she really was after the part, because at the end she was like, she was supposed to be sick. But
think she wanted the
she
part.
could have just been saying that because her mom said she called the studio telling them.
Yeah,
she was
I mean,
sick.
she thought she was. I mean, it's
But
a
like
little.
she said it in a way of like, I can't believe my plan didn't work. She was supposed to be sick. Like
I also
that,
think
like
we're
that
seeing
kind of
it
thing.
all from Natalie Portman's perspective. Yeah. So
Dementia.
I think that it wasn't her. I
Schizophrenic
don't think
as
that
fuck.
was her
Schizophrenic.
exact tone kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Swan Lake, like the story of Swan Lake, like you
Yeah.
were saying, right?
Falls
Yeah.
for the wrong girl.
So does she die at the end?
I think
Yeah.
she died. It faded to white
In
light.
Swan Lake, yeah, that's the ending. Like the Swan Queen kills herself.
Yeah. And like,
Motherfucker really just broke her own mirror and shanked herself. Like,
Yeah, I was like, what is happening?
I want to talk about the relationship between Nina
So-
and Nina because you see her face on a lot of other people. She keeps thinking she's seeing other people as her, and it keeps freaking her out. This movie plays with a lot of shit that kind of is ruining. Also, it looks great. It looks really, really
I've
good.
Darren
never-
Aronofsky, bro.
I've never seen a Hollywood movie utilize the warp stabilizer. Like the way they did the camera work, it also gave me Birdman vibes. Like how they do that, like over the shoulder, like continuous shot camera work, like you're there with the character. Also, the first half of the movie, Natalie Portman like barely talked because she's not living her life. Like,
Yeah.
like she's just kind of going through the motions.
She sounds like a baby every time she talks. She's like, "Mommy," and like this, and that. She's like so quiet and soft spoken. And he's like, "Yeah, you're really good." It's like the White Swan, but can you do the Black Swan shit? Can you get fucking weird?
Yeah,
And
like, "You
then
wanna do butt
Tomas
stuff?"
has to get all up in her mouth to do it. It's
gross. Yeah.
I watched that movie in 2012 when it like came out, and I think I was too young to grasp most of the concepts that they were throwing. So
Yeah, it's
I will
weird
give
as
it
an
a
adult.
rewatch. Because Darren Aronofsky, he does like slight body horror. I mean, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
You call that body horror in a way.
please let's not talk about the needle scene. It lives in my brain rent free.
yeah, dude. I don't know.
Never seen it.
Like, wait, for what? For what?
Spidey had a Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, yeah. That's not as bad as Swan Lake. Or I mean, the Black Swan. That's not
her feet fused, the feathers.
I don't know, bro. That was depressing as fuck,
dude. I have never had a visceral reaction to violence in movies the way I did with this movie, and it wasn't even anything like crazy. It was just like her cutting herself or like minor injuries, but the way they did it so suddenly without a build up, and this isn't even really supposed to be like a gory movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they did to make me feel what I did, but like I held.
You're holding yourself. You're like, stop.
It was bad, dude.
I think the coolest part is that Darren Aronofsky, again, I'll shout him out. He doesn't like put a filter on it or anything when there's like hallucinations or like dream sequences happening, right?
No, it just happens.
Just lets it play out, and you're like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Because that's what the character would be going through.
Like when she walks past that girl in the dark alley and it looks like her for a second, she's like, or like when Mila Kunis is going down on her and it's her face for a second, and she just keeps being like, am I tripping? No, I'm not. I'm good. And it's like,
you're tripping.
And I think it's cool too that this movie, this is why I want to fucking pat I'm mad at you. So the movie's about ballet, which is like this high art form, but it's kind of ran by the worst people.
It's gutter.
Like, Tomas is just like, he's a little sex addict and shit, and he's gross, and he's out here fingering his dancers. Don't do that. These girls are breaking their bodies.
Yeah.
Not just in her case, but when it starts off with the shoes, and they're like, oh, these are the shoes I have. Let me mess them up as much as possible so that they work for me, and they're flexible. And, like, they're putting themselves through so much horror. I hear ballerinas' feet are gross because of the shit that they have to go through.
I'll try to embody Pat. So see, like in my opinion, that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do to get to be the best. And she was trying to be the best. I don't give a shit. I think Tomas was like he was in the right, like for pushing her that way. Sometimes you gotta have a coach that pushes you there.
That's honestly,
that is very much what Pat would say. I feel like,
dude. Honestly, people like Tomas is what's wrong with any industry because it gets to a level of pretentiousness where it's just like, dude, calm the fuck down. You're doing a dance. Like, yes, it's prestigious, there's respect, and it's like hard work and stuff, but like, get out of your own ass. Because like in his own fucked up way, like when he made out with her, like that was probably him being like, yeah, I taught her to be like, yeah, it's like that was probably his way of being like, see, I seduced you, but you need to seduce me. And that's what this is about, the character, not me wanting to rape you. Like,
he's like, nah, and she's like, and he's like taking advantage of his position. He seems like the kind of dude that'd be like, listen, my little princess, you must do anal sex in order to dance the Black Swan correctly. You do not understand fully until we've had a 4-way with your grandma, but that's how you become the Black Swan. It's like, hey, bud.
Yeah, it's
hey, bud.
Right,
dial it the fuck back, me.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get to a level where it's just like, get out of your own ass. We're making
any
a movie.
industry,
like, get out of your own ass.
All right, well, that puts Whiplash on the list at some point in time in the future.
Gotta watch it. I gotta get out.
Yeah. So, just want to, before Spidey, well, actually, Spidey, you're gonna say bye. I'm just gonna let you know what the next movie is. It's Jennifer's Body.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should watch.
It's Jennifer's Body, and we're gonna be talking about you on Netflix. So
I've never seen it.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Jennifer's Body is a really good one. It is a good look at people over sexualizing women and her getting back.
You see, that's another movie where the trailers didn't do it justice, because when it came out, I was like, that's awful. I'm not going to see that shit. Had I known it was like actually Drive. About that, yeah.
All right, Spidey, we'll see you later. You get going. We're going to finish talking about this movie, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Peace.
So, bye. Well, not bye to you guys. It's Spidey. So the other thing I want to say is that this movie uses sex as a weapon.
Yeah.
So Tomas is like, he's like, why don't you go home and masturbate? And like, you know, kind of think about me. He's not saying that, but if someone tells you to go home and masturbate, they're gonna be on your mind like this. And like Nina kind of has to keep her adult side hidden from her mother. Her mom like watches her bathe and like undresses her a bunch and like keeps treating her like a kid, like she's not giving her access to her own body. And then other people keep kind of trying to get in there.
There's no father in the picture too, and she was a ballerina, and she gave that up to have Nina. So do you think that's how she came about?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not saying it was with Tomas, but it was probably with somebody. It was probably some kind of fucked up situation like that. You know?
It kind of, it presents itself like that. I think Mila Kunis does a really good job at kind of being just like, whatever. I'm the fun-loving version of you. I'm the Black Swan version of you. I'm the part that you want to be.
And that's the opposite. Okay, so Tomas and Mila are both opposite ends of the spectrum, where it's like one is too up his own ass, and the other one is like a little too carefree.
Right, like I'm gonna do Molly the day before we have our big dance.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like you gotta take some of this a little seriously. Like it was just, it's cool. Like that, there were very extreme ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, it's one of those. It does itself really good. The visuals are really good, and when she does that Black Swan dance, it's kind of iconic.
Dude.
She goes off. Just
Dude.
It's actually
looking
really
crazy
well done.
as shit,
And she
bro.
really
Yeah.
did that. Like she didn't have a stunt double. Like she really did that.
Well, here's my question.
Right?
They keep putting her face on other people's bodies. Would you know? The movie's already kind of been like, we can put people's faces on people's bodies pretty easily. Have you noticed? So I don't know if it's her doing it or if it's a body double at times with her face. Did you double? Because Social Network did it with the Winklevoss twins and Armie Hammer. He ain't a twin, but no one even thought about it in the movie. So
Really?
I think that, yeah, they probably got the technology that sometimes it's her, sometimes I think it's just body double.
Man.
That's my thought. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe she worked out for Mighty Thor.
Ballerinas
She takes it real seriously.
get abused, man. Like they abused in the sense of just like for their work. Like it's a very grueling, very physical. Like their feet are all fucked up. Like yeah, it's pretty messed up.
For some high art, bro.
That movie
some
made
high
ballet
art.
extreme as fuck. I don't know, okay,
for
people
some
like, dude,
high
ballerina,
art.
that's some serious shit.
Hey, it is high art, man. Like I haven't gone to too many like operas or ballets or like orchestras, but when you're there, man, it does.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you feel classy.
I took Marketa to the Christmas Carol just to watch the play, and I think one of the things about a play is how it can be so engrossing with like its limited budget. Like, you know that you're watching people on a stage, but they're doing such a good job that you do get pulled into the story. And I bet you, I haven't seen it before, but watching ballerinas do some kind of silly dance that's about like her getting a spell put on her, once you're like in it, you're probably like, oh my god, like I am into this. Like, these people are up here doing it.
And I never really thought about like trying to interpret a story, because you've heard Swan Lake. I never knew the story until I like actually looked it up. But if I would have gone to a ballet, I would have just really, I don't think I would have looked deeper than like the dance that was happening. But like there is a story being told, and like reading the synopsis of what Swan Lake actually is, and then you see it and you're like, oh, whoa, that's okay. It's a little, there's layers to it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Suraj, thanks for coming.
Hey, I hope I did as best as I could as Pat. Couldn't come up with the Pat Ponders before Spidey left, but we were talking about AI and a bunch of nonsense.
Pat would be like, all right, I got an idea. So there's an AI, all right? And we all give it all of our attention and our money and time, and it kills all the bad people that it decides, but we let it, and it makes the world better.
What is the pond?
The question is, would you build this
really a
AI? I don't know.
Yes.
So we have to actually write a bunch of fake Pat Ponders and some real ones, because Marketa's doing a thing that she's going to be doing, and I gave Shelby a good one yesterday. I think to come up with a good Pat Ponders, it has to be super extreme.
Babies have to die, I think. Like as a repercussion to what you do.
He's actually moved away. He's in a
more
new
dead
version
babies.
of, yeah, he's moved away from the dying babies.
Dead
puppies?
babies is kitsch.
Yeah.
You know.
No, he never gets the puppies. That's kind of too taboo for him, I think. But yeah. Anyway, you guys that have been watching, thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for being here for this episode of the podcast. Please stick around for the raid, and we will see you next time. Where next week we will have new music.
Raid.
Mickey, I need to record some voice stuff for me today, and Suraj, I need to record some ADR for me.
Talking Normies.